Now, the continent of Zaya has honestly scared me ever since the beginning of this series because it is so vast and they just keep adding to it. Every few months nowadays they're adding in tons of new chunks in the Zaya and Varlamore area. But we finally ripped off the band-aid and started unlocking chunks in Zaya, but it has been very costly so far. And it's going to get a lot worse because we are now at probably the most significant inflection point for our item prices. Just have a look at, I'm just going to show you my Photoshop file here. Our cheapest items right now are 10 mil, and there's about, I think, 20 odd items between 10 mil and 20 mil that we haven't unlocked yet. Okay, 20 chunks for that, that's alright. Between 20 and 30 mil though, there's only 15 items or so. Hey, at least they're useful. Between 30 and 40 mil, there are 11 items. And between 40 and 50 mil, there's under 10. So we are rapidly approaching hyper expensive endgame items as our only option, and we still have a large chunk of Zaya and Varlamore to unlock, and a couple really difficult quests to finish. But in my opinion, I think this is where the account becomes interesting. Each chunk is such a big decision, and we have to take advantage of every endgame moneymaker that we have access to. Why hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Trader Steve's journey across Gielinor to collect as many rare items as he can get his grubby little mitts on. Trader Steve is starting his journey in the Grand Exchange chunk, but for every new rare item he can add to his collection that's worth more than 1 mil, he can unlock a new adjacent chunk, with Trader Steve's ultimate goal, obtaining a quest cape. Alright, so last time we did unlock a handful of chunks in Kourend, but to finish Client of Kourend, we still have to go to Shazian, Hosidius, and all the way up to the Dark Mage, which is going to be an issue that we're going to have to solve. No way, guys. It's 97 defense. Don't worry. Do you really think I'd get another Synapse? There's just no way, honestly. We have to have burnt through our luck at this point. So although we're getting really good Slayer experience from Tormented Demons, and we're going to get Cerberus, we're going to get Arraxor, so we don't really need to train our Slayer independently too much. We have been doing the Barrage task just so we can get 99 magic, which we just got. This is actually a huge quality of life upgrade. I'm really excited for this, because until now I've only had a Ancient Altar in my POH, so we can't really switch between all 3 spellbooks conveniently. But with the Magic Cape, we can do this 5 times a day. If we have to do this more than 5 times a day, we are probably trolling. So this should do us nicely for the majority of content. It is a nice feeling now that a lot of the chunks we already have unlocked, so we don't have to worry about, oh, do I have the chunk with the Magic Cape in it? We just had it. So I always take the opportunity to stock our coffers when I find a good item. Right now, Goading Potion 1s are a great option. All you have to do is buy the 4-dose Goading Potion, decant them into 1, and we get double the value in Death's Coffer. Now you might be saying, just don't die, which is true, but when you're grinding the Coliseum, you just die. Even if you've done it a dozen times, 100 times, you will die, and having to pay 500k each time sucks. So I think just stocking our Death Coffer is good value when we find a good item to do it with. Okay, that's a big level coming in. 91 Slayer. I've been excited for this one for a while. Historically, Cerberus has actually been one of my more liked Slayer bosses. I haven't killed Cerberus in a while, but I have always wanted to help Puppy Pet, and while Cerberus isn't that competitive now, money-wise, I think I still might do a Cerberus task here and again. I can't ethically skip it, but another 240 Greater Demons. Ooh, that's gonna be all day. It's finally happened. We did an entire Greater Demon task at the Tormented Demons, and we didn't get anything. Nothing. Zilch. Pretty deserved, honestly. Tons of Slayer experience though, so it's never a bad task. Okay, so something I actually haven't done ever, or hardly ever in this account, is kill Zulrah. Now this is actually due to one issue. I didn't have a way to restore my stats very easily, but if you remember in the last episode, we finally got our Ornate Rejuvenation pool, which means we can theoretically kill Zulrah. And Zulrah is actually good money. Like, the price of scales is insane. They're over 300 GP each, which means people are making 4 or 5 mil per hour at Zulrah again. Now, am I gonna get that much? Hell no, because we're doing the Bofa only method, but I thought we'd do a handful of Zulrah kills, maybe 100, at least try to get 1 item or something like that, just for a bit of variety. I'm also going to try to somewhat more actively complete combat achievements because we're doing a lot of bossing now, and I think trying to get them done naturally as we do bosses instead of trying to grind them all out at once sounds a lot more appealing. So for Zulrah, we'll try to complete as many of the easier achievements as possible just to save us time later. Well, that was pretty fast with the Venge method. Damn, minute 16 is pretty good for just having a Bofa, and only took 20 kills as well. That was huge. How fast was that? Oh my god, almost sub 1 minute with a Bofa only sub. That's pretty damn good. I don't know if we're gonna beat that anytime soon. So there we go. We finished up 100 kills at Zulrah, and in the end of 2024, how much is that worth? Well, 13 mil, and with no unique drops, 130k per kill on average. That's really, really good money. Is this our best moneymaker? No, but it is still reasonably competitive, and that's a pretty easy 10 mil. So just a good base of money to start with. Do we get a split? Do we get a split? Let's have a look. We do. Nice. Unfortunately, dexes are in the dirt, but we'll still take a dex split. Okay, that's a unique. Unfortunately, that is significantly the worst one now. Historically, it was not much worse, but now Tanzanite Fangs are like 6 mil, and Petty Onyx is only 2 mil, so unlucky on that, but hey, we'll take an Onyx. That's about on drop rate, actually. So I haven't done Cerberus in years at this point, and we have a task of nearly 200 Cerberus. Now, the only problem is we don't have a Divine Spirit Shield, or sorry, nobody has that item, a Spectral Spirit Shield. So we're going to be taking a bunch of unavoidable damage or an unavoidable prayer chip. This mechanic is dumb, I'm going to be honest. Why do you get penalized for doing the mechanic correctly? Losing prayer is almost as bad as losing HP, if not worse actually. So it's just a strange mechanic. We do have Emberlight though, so that's one of the best weapons here. I think the Scythe is technically a bit better, but including the cost of using it, I think Emberlight might be Biss. And we have Burning Claws, so we have essentially like the best setup. So even without the Spectral, I think we should still be getting pretty solid kills per hour. Oh my god. Well, we have to remember how to do this boss though. God, do I want to do an entire task here? This is a little more annoying than I remember. Tormented Demons are just maybe a little too cracked. I can't stop comparing any task I do to them. Like Cerberus, sure, the XP per hour is okay. We're getting like 30k per hour, but we're getting like twice or 3 times less money and half the experience as Tormented Demons. But I like the puppy pet. I don't know, I'm conflicted. There goes my afternoon, I guess. So with that level, I think we can officially stop doing burst tasks. I don't think there's any point of doing them anymore. 92 Slayer means we've unlocked Arraxites. And if you look at the list here, the only 2 other unlocks are Hydras and Smoke Devils. Smoke Devils are kind of pointless if we're going to be bossing to 99 anyway. Hydra, you know, Alchemical Hydra is a profitable Slayer boss. We don't have it unlocked yet. It's still way over on the west side of Zaya. And I don't know if I actually want to do that much Alchemical Hydra, but that's probably the only last monster we're actually looking forward to. Oops. Oh, shit. 74 Arraxites. I forgot to extend them, didn't I? That said, that is still a 2-hour task, so I mean, that will still take a while, but we should definitely extend them. We have the Slayer points to do it now anyway, so we will do it. 150 points, now we should get tasks that are like closer to 200 each. My clip of my first kill of Arraxor is gone. My 4th kill though, we did get Speed Trialist. Now, Arraxor is probably the most profitable Slayer boss right now, while also getting pretty solid Slayer experience. So with the combination of Arraxor, Tormented Demons, maybe a little Cerberus, we're gonna get 99 Slayer just by default. And this is what we want to be doing anyway. So we got kind of the big 3 unlocked. Now the reason Arraxor is so profitable is because the Noxious Halberd is a pretty solid side drop, and the main value comes from the Amulet of Rancor, which is about essentially a 60-70 mil drop right now. Now right now our best weapon to kill Arraxor with is a Ursine Chain Mace, but I think we should probably get a Bludgeon at the very least. We can't afford it yet though, so I guess we'll have to wait. Now one thing that's kind of funny about Arraxor is they probably have one of the easiest combat achievements to finish. Like there are some Grandmaster tasks here that are really easy, so we're going to try to do all of the combat tasks here while we get a chance. Okay, fastest time so far, minute 15. With the Ursine Chain Mace, we don't really have a huge ability to finish a kill quickly. At least with the Bludgeon, there's a chance of just high rolling, doing a sub 1 minute kill. But for the speed tasks here, we need to do, I think, 5 kills fast. So we probably will just need a better weapon to do most of the speed times. So we've been trying to use a Noxious Halberd to get rid of the mirror backs. Essentially you need to kill them at range or use Venge to reflect the damage back. Both are viable. I'm really trying to figure out what is the least amount of effort. We could use a Noxious Halberd, we can use a ranged weapon, or we can use Venge, which are all pretty good options. The Halberd should be good, but it's really clunky to use. But anyway, we finished up our first Arraxor task. Took me over 2 hours, and nothing drop-wise to show for it so far, but it's early days. Well, I didn't really want to do this. I think we need to adjust our block list a little bit. We're going to unblock cave horrors because they're really not a common task, and although it's a little scary to unblock a task that I will never be able to do, I think overall blocking a much higher weighted task I don't want as well is going to be more efficient. As long as I'm smart, I shouldn't ever run out of Slayer points. Crater demons are really common. I was confused what that was for a second. Burning claws have crashed a bit now that they're an orange loot beam. That's still 7 mil. I'm pretty happy with that. That should bring us pretty close to a bludgeon. Alright, another 200 tormented demons down. We've killed a lot of them now. Still incredibly spooned, but we're starting to even things out. Yes, there we go. That took a long time. That was like 30 tasks I had to do before. Yeah, okay. There we go. 200 Araxites. We can finally head back to Arraxor. Unfortunately, we were still a little short on a weapon upgrade here, so we'll still be using Ursine Chain Mace, but that's okay. So if we sell our Burning Claw off and a bunch of other loot, we are at 29 mil, but we need closer to 31 for the bludgeon. So yeah, we'll have to wait a little bit. So with that kill, we have actually completed the hard combat achievement. So we kind of got it by default, but still it's an achievement of sorts. The main benefits to it for us is an increase in the amount of cannonballs we can hold. We can hold up to 45 now. We get an unlimited God Wars teleport. We only need 35 kill count to enter the dungeon, and we get private instances now. Oh, and oh good, look, private instances for the Huicatl as well. And we also get a experience lamp, which I guess we'll put into mining. The mining is still my least favorite skill, and I think we'll actually get a level from it. There's 75. So we still haven't got the drop from Arraxor, but with enough of the basic loot, I think we'll just be able to scrape by. I mean, look at that. We're selling off fucking watermelon seeds. Things are bad, but we just barely are going to have enough, I think, for this bludgeon, as long as we are patient, I guess. There it is, the Abyssal Bludgeon. I was a little on the fence of buying this, honestly. It's only a bit higher DPS than the Chain Mace, but it's another item. It's not even that expensive in the grand scheme of things. We will need it eventually, so we might as well get it now when we're actually doing a relevant boss. But with that, we can finally unlock another chunk. So to complete Client of Kourend, we still have to make it over to the Heart of Shazian. Now, we unlocked this minecart system in the last episode, and unfortunately from here, we just have to walk over there like a peasant. There's no other way around it, because that other Lovakenge minecart system is in another dead chunk, so we've already unlocked one, we don't want to do another one, so we have to walk over there, one chunk at a time. Unfortunately with Zaya, there's a lot of chunks, and most of them have very little in it. There's some flavor, lore things, and a few quest locations. A yew tree. If favor still existed, we could do favor, but yeah, not too much here. You kind of don't even have to think about getting 99 Slayer anymore. It just is going to kind of happen with Arraxor, Tormented Demons, Hydra, Cerberus. It just goes pretty quickly while you're bossing. That's 93, which means we could kill Smoke Devils. I probably won't ever, though. Hey, we got something finally. The Noxious Point. That's okay. That's part of the bludgeon. Or not the bludgeon. That's part of the halberd. It always confuses me. All the 4 items look kind of similar. One of the 3 though, so that's an expected value drop of about 8 or 9 mil or something. And we got that in kill count 173. That's halberd piece. About, what do we got, 173, so like 70 kills later, we got the second piece. So we're actually, there's a hope still that we could finish this entire thing in a single task. Oh, we got Speed Chaser. Pretty hard to keep track of that because it's 5 kills in a row you need to do fast. I guess we just eventually got it with the bludgeon. Okay, this task went hard apparently. What the hell just happened? We went from 0 pieces to all 3 in under 100 kills. That's pretty hype, especially so because I just realized I don't even have the crafting level to make the amulet of Rancor. So if we got the Rancor drop, we would have had to train crafting, which it would have kind of sucked. But the halberd, we already have the level to make it. We can just make it right now. I think there's a cool animation. No, there is not. Okay, I guess that's just for the Rancor. But anyway, there's another Noxious Halberd. We already have one, so we can sell this off. Right now it's going for about 23 mil. 24 maybe if we're patient. Arraxor tasks take forever, my god. We started this like a week ago and did an hour a day, and it took me 6 hours to do this task. So thanks to a proposed update, which I'm sure many of you will be able to guess what it is, the profitability of Cerberus has gone up significantly. I'm talking about the new Delve boss and the boot drop that it is going to have. To make it, you're going to need Pegasian boots, Eternal boots, and Primordial boots, assuming they don't change it, which is not impossible at this point. But anyway, for the meantime, all of the Cerberus crystals have gone up a lot. Specifically, the Eternal crystals up to nearly 9 mil, and the Primordial and Pegasian have also gone up a bit as well. So that means Cerberus right now is about 4 or 4.5 mil an hour. So I think with that extra push, I'm a little motivated to do Cerberus again. Am I motivated by money? 100%. Things are more enjoyable when you get paid more.
Penguins are secretly the KGB. They have a secret ice base, they are building a giant robot army to take over the world, and Penguin's spies have infiltrated.
What is it with me and Slayer bosses? That literally cannot have gone any better. That is a Primordial crystal, and we're only 40 kills into our task. That's huge. Let's go back to the bank and do something with it. So a rule I have added on a few episodes back is that if I get a drop that is completely unusable, I can turn it into the usable version before I commit it to my bank. So things like Broken Torva, a Nihil Horn, or in this case a Primordial Crystal, just so I can get the usable item quicker, but I will still need to get both versions to unlock both chunks. So in this case, we're going to buy a pair of Dragon Boots and we'll turn them into Primordial Boots, and that will be our item unlock. Just a way for me to not have complete absolute junk in my bank for forever. And with that, we have the best in slot melee boots, the Primordial Boots. We can finally stop wearing these god-awful things, I think. Well, that is a surprise chunk unlock, but a welcome one. Okay, so once again, we're in another Shazian chunk that has almost nothing in it. Luckily, or maybe not luckily, the Kingdom Divided does go through this chunk, although if that quest didn't exist, we wouldn't have to come over here. Now, fortunately, completing Client of Kourend will also unlock a lot of locations for the Thrall unlock, but for now, it's just pain. Really though, this chunk is totally empty. I've hardly ever been here, like I've never been in this crypt before. It's a good looking place though. Okay, we're getting back into the groove of Cerberus. It is a bit annoying not doing it with a Spectral Spirit Shield, but as long as we have our prayer at a pretty precise amount, we don't lose the full 90 every time, we lose about 60 and some change. Yes, it's annoying, our supplies are getting drained a bit faster, but I don't think we're actually losing that much time. That is going to be our 75th kill at Cerberus, which is a combat achievement. I think we can do all the combat achievements here, no problem. We have finally done it. I've apparently put this off forever, but every time I get a chance, I've been AFKing at the Vires, and finally we have hit 99 defense, which means we're 99 in all combat stats, except for prayer. We're like 5,000 or 6,000 kills that without a blood shard, which is fine. I'd rather get lucky elsewhere. Got me again, damn it. Well, there's Cerberus Master, which means I think that's 100, 150 kills or something. Yep.
Arts quest, which replaces the Prince Ali rescue quest if you...
You're kidding me. I'm listening to the same Joff Strive Hayes video. It's a long ass video, but still, that's a second Primordial Crystal in under 200 kills. My god. I have suddenly and independently decided I very much enjoy Cerberus now. Not related to anything that has just happened, I just like the boss. Well, if I had known I was going to get a duplicate drop really quickly, I probably wouldn't have actually made primordial boots. I mean, it's fine. They are good, and they are best in slot melee boots, so it's not the worst upgrade. But since we already made the primordial boot drop, and this is now another item on the list, we actually just have to add it to our collection. But regardless, that is another chunk unlock from both now the primordial boots and the primordial crystal. So originally I thought this chunk would be enough, but unfortunately the NPC is actually in this general store, which is apparently in the next chunk up. So we're gonna get a bank, and I guess we'll get the organized crime minigame. Alright, we finally made it to Jennifer, which means we are done with Shazian. Where to next though, that's the question. It looks like we are going to Hosidius. Okay, that's actually not that bad. Oh my god, it's another crystal. It's the Pegasian crystal, not worth the most, although it is worth I think 3 or 4 times more than it was a month ago. So that was pretty much the best Cerberus task we could have hoped for. Now ironically, it's actually better for me to just wear my Echo boots because I'm not losing the max hit over the Primordials, and they have higher defenses, higher prayer bonus. So the Primordials are in the bank, unfortunately for now. Look how many Keymaster teleports we have though, this is great. We almost never have to run back. Okay, so let's dump all our loot, including our 450k Pegasian crystal, which is pretty good. And with our entire loot tab sold off, we are up to 25 mil, and that should be enough for two more items, I think. Okay, so looking at the list here, our cheapest item is actually the Armadyl Godsword, the AGS for 11.5 mil, and we're gonna get also the condensed gold. The AGS is obviously a usable item, but I'm not going to do any PvP, so I don't expect I'll use it. Okay, so first we're going to go down into Hosidius, which is, I guess, moderately useful if we wanted to do mahogany homes. I actually forgot about this. No! Well, I realized at one point and then forgot again. I thought I was done, but we're not done, guys. This quest just keeps going. We have to go to the Dark Mage, which is way the hell up here. Okay, we have a plan. Now we're gonna use the same strategy I did to get down to Shazian originally. We're gonna use the Kourend Underground. This is one of the first times it's actually been incredibly helpful, but we're gonna go all the way down under the catacombs and pop up actually perfectly in the Dark Mage chunk. I actually thought this was going to be more useful in the series overall, but this is like the first time this has been handy. We're going to pop up here. There we are. It's just right down there, and we can activate our orb and finish the quest. Oh no, I didn't think this one through. Well, I don't think there's a way for me to get down there. I tried activating the orb. The only way down is in the western chunk. Fuck. I can't even.